Aber Kasike is back with his newest indie games explorations.
Kasike.
Does anyone remember the classic game Pong from 1972 by Atari? No? Nobody? Okay, then Destructure Among Debris should be something new for you. In this game you find yourself in a post-apocalyptic environment where your task is, in simple terms, to destroy walls and turrets without getting hit by enemy bullets. However, Destructive Among Debris is not Pong, simply because you are not playing against another human player, but rather trying to complete levels in solo mode. Some might argue that the game is reminiscent of Arkanoid, another classic game from long ago, and they are not entirely wrong. However, with full control over 360 degrees, Destructive Among Debris also demonstrates that it's a skillful mix of past classics while also introducing new elements into the mix. The idea behind the game is clever and the gameplay is both solid and enjoyable. The game follows the same basic concept as Arkanoid, but with a horizontal rather than a vertical orientation, with weapon and booster drops replacing the traditional bricks. The movement of your unit is similar to that of air hockey. As you progress through the various stages of the game, you earn additional perks that can be used to purchase upgrades, such as increased damage for specific weapons. Set in a post-apocalyptic world filled with garbage and abandoned structures, the game tasks you with cleaning up the mess and defeating angry robot turrets. Even if you are not typically a fan of Arkanoid or Pong style games, this fresh take on the genre is definitely worth trying.
Wow, Matthew, he is back again.
What?
The guy.
Why did you stop playing? I was on a perfect run.
He's back again.
Who is here?
The freak who is always eating our playing ball.
Holy.
Sorry guys, I haven't tried this game myself, but I couldn't resist adding it to the list because it fits so well with the previous meme. So I'll keep this introduction short. If you are looking for a Pac-Man clone and don't want to use an emulator, you will find the current version here. Drawing inspiration from the classic game Pac-Man, Wak Attak elevates the gameplay to the new level. Your hero must avoid dangerous obstacles such as skeletons, fireballs and missiles, while fighting his way through Lord Glob's castle to rescue his family. You can use a variety of weapons and spells including swords, crossbows, arcane blades and a spectral bomb. But don't forget to collect treasure as you navigate through the castle. Blocky Dungeon is a puzzle game mixed with roguelike where you build a dungeon and explore it at the same time. The player places blocks to form paths for the knight to navigate the dungeon while defeating enemies, clearing lines and collecting loot. If the dungeon map fills up, it's game over. Enemies will target the knight and if the player doesn't kill them directly, the curse on the knight will gain power. The knight can gain temporary power-ups by defeating enemies with a perfect strike or marking lines for removal, like in Tetris. The game features more than 30 enemy types with distinct behaviors, 4 bosses, 6 dungeon themes and 3 game modes with infinite layout combinations. The controls take some getting used to and the game could benefit from more depth. Blocky Dungeon has keyboard-only controls. If Tetris was a dungeon and you want to help a knight get through the dungeon, this game is for you. The next game is already a few months out, but I found it this time. Place in a space, beat a maze. This unique game combines the excitement of an arcade game with the strategic challenge of a logical puzzle. The objective is to collect all the power cores in the maze while navigating through increasingly complex obstacles and mechanisms, all while planning the optimal route to flight. The game is designed to test both reflexes and coordination, as well as planning skills. You need to exit the level the quickest way possible with a count of movements of your ship in the maze. Therefore, you need to take decisions on the path of the ship. Your score is calculated on time, moves and completed exit. Place a Space, Beat a Maze features over 150 levels grouped into constellations, with each level having its own leaderboards, where players can compete with friends and rivals from around the world. In summary, Place in Space, Beat a Maze offers colorful arcade puzzle game that respond to speed and music. Easy to learn but hard to master gameplay, over 150 fast-paced levels, 420 challenges to complete and more than 30 original soundtracks. Wallworld is an indie game about driving a spider tank up an endless wall, mining and defending against enemies. Players must gather resources, upgrade their equipment and keep climbing the wall. The game offers multiple biomes and challenging enemies, but its slow and dull gameplay loop can be off-putting. It's get better with upgrades and players can find blueprints to unlock new stuff. There are also repair stations and turrets to defend against the waves of enemies. The game is visually appealing with beautiful pixels art backdrops. Players must delve deep into mysterious and treacherous wall world where every few minutes hordes of aggressive monsters attack players, making it critical to quickly find resources to modify the Robo Spider's defenses. The world of Wall World is a side-scrolling clone of Dome Keeper. Wall World offers an excellent gameplay experience as a challenging roguelite. Delving into diverse and captivating environments is highly gratifying, driving players to explore what lies beyond each level. With procedurally generated levels and extensive selection of upgrades, everyone feels noble, allowing players to advance their Robo Spider closer to the end. Nonetheless, Wall World provides a satisfying mining crawler with an addictive gameplay circle.
Thank you for calling the It To The Stickman application hotline. We're looking for hands-on management-type industry rock stars hungry to disrupt the dominant paradigms of intra-office upward mobility. Are you a team player? Ready to join our success-oriented thought leaders in open collaboration?
In this game, players take on the role of a blue stick figure with the goal of climbing the corporate ladder by defeating red stickmen and collecting upgrades as they progress through the levels. The game is easy to play but challenging to master, with controls that are similar to a Super Mario game. The game has a roguelike feature where each playthrough is different from the last. The attack system in It To The Stickman is unique, with all attacks mapped to the spacebar in a particular order. The upgrades you choose determine which attack you can use and when. There are also strategic aspects to the game that are not immediately apparent, such as using the jump button to run up the sides of enemies and kicking enemies out of windows. It To The Stickman's humor and subversion of expectations make it stand out from other games. The game is filled with genuine visual sound effects and pop culture references that show the developers' love for the game. Overall, It To The Stickman is a fun and entertaining game that pays homage to the stick figure animations that inspired it. The full release is announced for later in this year, but you give it a try already with the demo version available on Steam. We stick to a similar game graphic structure and elements. In Calm Line, you control an astronaut who visually resembles an imposter. Using various tools, you must overcome the paths that appear in this 2D puzzle platformer. But that's anything but easy because your astronaut acts uncontrollably, which could be too tough for some. Do you want to know if the hand-drawn graphic style is for you? Then download the free demo on Steam and decide whether you want to take on the challenge of more than 50 levels with varying levels of difficulty. To prevent the complexity from being too easy, limited available time makes it difficult for you to complete each level. Amazingly smooth and well cooked. If you like to challenge yourself, then this game is maybe perfect for you. Drop System Breach is a pixel-based hacking simulation game where the player takes on the role of a hacker with limited resources who sets out to make a name for themselves. The player has 5 minutes to complete each mission, which includes stealing data, downloading vital information, disrupting systems or otherwise garnering attention, all while trying to avoid security programs. Drop System Breach stands out for its user-friendly controls. The game follows a simple point-and-click interface with players navigating the game world through their mouse or controller. Its intuitive design enables players to jump straight into the game without needing to spend time learning how to play. This feature makes it an attractive option for both experienced gamers and newcomers to the genre. The game's missions are diverse and challenging, testing players' hacking abilities. These missions range from installing spyware on computers to retrieving or deleting information from files, pinging interfaces, solving puzzles and more. However, it should be noted that Drop System Breach uses procedural generation, which results in some repetitive elements. Drop System Breach is a smart, deceptively complex and wholly engaging minimal hacking sim that is immersive in a way that pixel graphics don't usually provide. Check out the demo if this hack is for you. Empty Shell Prologue takes place in a secret industrial facility on a Japanese island, where volunteers have signed up for a recovery operation without knowing the full details. This roguelite survival horror game has a top-down perspective and features randomized starting equipment and level layouts every time you die. Players must navigate through dark corridors and cold rooms, fight abominable creatures, solve puzzles, scavenge for weapons, and recover important documents and logs from the 1950s to uncover the mysteries of the facility. Upgrades and devices can be purchased to aid in fights against different types of enemies found throughout the facility. While the game has a promising roguelike idea and a fitting atmosphere with its style and of graphics, some players have struggled to distinguish objects. While the game has a promising roguelike idea and a fitting atmosphere with its style of graphics, some players may have struggled to distinguish objects, enemies and environments. The visuals can be difficult to look at due to certain effects, and most of the enemies look the same. However, with some practice the game's rules and gameplay can be easily understood, and the game has a good level of challenge on higher difficulty settings. Overall, Empty Shell Prologue is a promising demo that is free to play. If the developer expands on the story and game and improves visibility and enemy distinguishability, it has the potential to become a solid game for fans of challenging top-down action. And here we are with my latest recommendation, which will be a full release in a few days. In 2013, 10 years ago, Desktop Dungeons gained a huge following, and to this day it has a loyal fanbase that continues to explore the mysterious dungeons in their spare time. In a few days there will be a remake in glorious 3D available. The new feature of being able to rewind previous decisions has been added to the game, providing a fresh spin to the gameplay. While death is a common occurrence, players quickly learn to play tactically to avoid it. The rewind feature is a significant draw to the new remake, as it rewards players for their mistakes by allowing them to learn from them and try again. The 3D visuals are gorgeous, and the various enemies, including zombies, goats and the meatman, are detailed, making battles exciting. The game strikes a balance between providing enough help without removing the challenge. And now comes the good news. The game will be free for all owners of the original, and it will be available on April 18. Budding adventurers can take the advantage of the deal of the century and purchase the original game on Steam with a 75% discount. Discover great indie games. Join the positive indie gaming community and celebrate the world of indie games with me. You're welcome to send me recommendations.